Now this is a hey guys, this is Salmon17 or whatever, and today I'm gonna talk about something gaming related. And as you guys can see from my previous clip of the video, Resident Evil 4, this game gets a remake. Now some people might say, holy shit, yes, the best Resident Evil game gets a remake, but do you have any idea how many ports this game has? How many? 2 PC ports, PlayStation 2 port, GameCube port, Nintendo Wii, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, PS4, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One. We have Resident Evil basically on every goddamn system on the planet, and yet Capcom wants to make a remake of the game, of a game that is not broken to begin with. Now, I understand remaking older games like Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, or Resident Evil 2, because those games are really old. I understand those remakes. Resident Evil 2 remake was really done well because it was done by a team who had respect for the original Resident Evil 2 source material. We also had Resident Evil 1 remake, the original remake that originally came out for GameCube, and then later on was ported for other newer generation systems, PC, PS3, Xbox 360, PS4, Xbox One. I do apologize. I just ate lunch, and also Switch, Nintendo Switch. Yeah. And this is one of the things I do not understand. Why need to make a remake for Resident Evil 4? Because recently we got a Resident Evil 3 remake, and I will not talk much about it because I never played the original Resident Evil 3 game. I played the Resident Evil 1 remake, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 4, but I never finished each of the games because I'm mostly playing these games blindly, and I'm more of a Silent Hill fan myself rather than a Resident Evil fan. But oh yeah, and speaking of Silent Hill, I actually beat Silent Hill 1 and 2, which is awesome. Great horror games, I highly recommend it. But Resident Evil 4 remake, why? Why do we need Resident Evil 4 for remake? God damn it, they could have remade anything else. Resident Evil Code Veronica should have gotten a better remake. Or hell, Dino Crisis. Where did Capcom just forgot about this game? Like Dino Crisis, a survival horror game about dinosaurs. How cool is that? And for remake, it could have been awesome, but now? Now it's like gone. And for a game that doesn't need remakes or remasters or whatever, it holds up really well to this day. Some people say it played the worst version of Resident Evil 4 because GameCube version is better graphically, blah blah blah. But one of my biggest problems with these remakes, people always, when they think about remakes or whatever, they think about, holy shit, this is the best thing ever because it has better graphics than the older console, and that is pretty much it. That is the only thing they might mostly care about. I could care less about graphics and more I care about the gameplay of the game. If the gameplay and the story are boring, then you lost me. I will not play this game because I haven't touched The Last of Us for a real long time. Honestly, we haven't played a lot of video games for a long time because I live with my family. I live with my family who hate video games, hate fun in general, and And sometimes I'm afraid to play video games until they're not home. I also am afraid to do YouTube videos when they are around because they don't understand the stuff what I do with my daily life. But you know, whatever. But still, Resident Evil 4 Remake, it's so goddamn pointless, honestly. There's rumors that PS5 and Xbox, what fucking ever, is coming out. And I do not care about these consoles because I still play my PS2, PS3 because it has great games. And I mostly care about single player games. Most gamers nowadays care about cinematic experience or good high-tech realistic graphics. But that is the problem I have with modern video games, is that realism kind of defeats the purpose of the fun of the video game. Because if I think of video game, I want to have fun. I want to, you know, explore, try to survive some kind of monster, find some resources, whatever, because I still play games like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas or Vice City. I still play Ratchet & Clank on PS2. I even play some Metal Gear Solid and Devil May Cry as well. I haven't touched Devil May Cry for a while. I have it on PS3, but I really suck at Devil May Cry games, so yeah. But the fact is, the fun of video games are mostly slowly going out, and I don't know how will they handle the Resident Evil 4 remake, because when Resident Evil 3 remake came out, I heard a lot of problems it had. Like, for example, Nemesis was really watered down, more cinematic. He was more scripted than the original Nemesis. Like I said, I haven't played the original Resident Evil 3, so I don't know how Nemesis works in Resident Evil 3, but I have watched the gameplay for the original Resident Evil 3, and I do notice that Nemesis in Resident Evil 3 is very unpredictable. He goes through doors like loading screens. Nope, I'm coming in, bitch. I'm gonna kick your ass and kill you. Like, that is a very terrifying moment. But in Resident Evil 3 Remake, they kind of made Nemesis less terrifying. Because what I really like what they did with Mr. X in Resident Evil 2 Remake. But with Nemesis, they kind of watered him down. Like, I was expecting him to be like this better version of Mr. X. But there are some moments that are terrifying when Mr. X is chasing you around. But it happens only like very scripted. It happens basically. There's only like one time where he chases you around relentlessly, but the next time but the next minute cutscene shows up and boom, that moment is gone. And that really sucks because Nemesis was a force to be reckoned with in the original Resident Evil 3. Like, you had to make these split-second choices whether you fight him or, you know, run away from him. But if you choose to run away from him, he will still at any moment he will chase you around no matter where you go, except maybe save rooms. But I do not know if that is possible, if he enters save rooms or not in the original. But what else I wanted to talk about? Resident Evil 3 Remake also had really cut content, like cut levels. Like, there was no clock tower level, or there was another level that was cut off, but you know, whatever. Like, the game, the Resident Evil 3 Remake felt really rushed, but a lot of people were actually excited. But of course they were excited because the only thing they mostly showed in the trailers were basically Nemesis. The same type of Nemesis that was in the trailers was basically shown in the gameplay, and it kind of defeats the purpose. Like, Nemesis, like I said, is a force to be reckoned with. Hell, even in the demo of Resident Evil 3 Remake, Nemesis was more terrifying. Like, he shows up and he still chases you around relentlessly. He sprints you, he uses his tentacles to pull you towards him, like, so he could stomp you or whatever. And when you know, run away from him or whatever, you took out the fire hydrant to take out the fire, he just busts through the wall and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna kill you, stars! But in the remake, they kind of like I said, it feels really scripted with Nemesis, but you know what I know. I never played the original, so I should not be talking. But like I said, I watched the gameplay videos of the Resident Evil 3, but you know, whatever. But that is the problem I have at you know, with these remakes. Like sometimes they work, sometimes they do not. Like the original Resident Evil, the first game's remake was really done well. It had that classic not the over the shoulder camera, but the like chest type of camera, like Metal Gear Solid had the original, and Metal Gear Solid 2. Then tank controls, whatever. But I really like the remake for the first Resident Evil. I am still actually kind of terrified, really tensed up when I play that remake, because the zombies, if you kill them, they do not stay dead, unlike in the original. If you leave the dead bodies behind for too long, they will, in few minutes or hours, they will change, their skin color will change, and they will turn into these faster, more aggressive, terrifying zombies called the Crimson Heads, and which is, I thought it was a cool idea, but at the same time a really terrifying idea, because you know, you can't kill Crimson Heads. If you have like a grenade launcher with the flame rounds, then you could easily like one-shot these Crimson Heads. But if you don't have them, then it'll take a few shots with the shotgun to kill them. I never tried it before with the shotgun, but you know, ammo is very scarce. But you know, it's a survival horror game. And I have played the original Resident Evil 2. I always die in the first part because, well, unlike with Silent Hills, tank controls, it is really hard to, you know, control the character, because the way they turn, it feels really awkward, and sometimes it's really hard to avoid zombies, especially when there's like huge groups of them. If there's too many zombies in front of you, and if you don't have ammo, then you're basically fucked it beyond belief. But this is what I like about the old Resident Evil games, because it makes you think with your head how to use, how to manage your inventory, how to deal with enemies, certain enemies or whatever. Because I never actually knew that in the original Resident Evil 2 that lickers were blind, because I know in the remake they were blind, but I never knew in the original that they were blind also, because in the in the original Resident Evil 2, you don't get a note or something like that that tells you that the lickers are blind, because when Licker shows up for the first time, it's a very terrifying moment. And I really like the noises that Lickers make in the original game, because they really sound very inhumane, like very creepy, like they're ready to fuck you up if you make a noise. Like they have these weird, very like human-like noises, like that is so creepy. But with Resident Evil 2 Remake, I didn't like that they gave the Licker like this generic monster sound. Ah, jeez. Sorry. Oh my god. Got way too excited. I'm to apologize. Oh my god, I was choking on my own saliva. Fuck. Oh my god. Sorry about that. That was unexpected. Oh boy. But don't worry, I don't deal with the coronavirus. Oh my god. How the fuck do you even get choked by your own saliva? I do not understand how that works. Oh boy, I need a drink. But you know what I mean. With Resident Evil 3 Remake, how they changed the liquor noises. Like, the liquors are still terrifying in the remake, I'm not gonna lie. I actually watched Uber Haxer Nova's video of when he played the Resident Evil 2 Remake on hardcore mode. Big mistake, buddy, because that mode is actually really hard. But he actually does pull off in some way, but I really hate watching YouTubers play these games, all the Resident Evil games or Silent Hill games, because they always never explore the area. They always miss out on some key items, and they were just rushing things. Like, I understand it's a scheduling thing, but at the same time, I really hate when they do that. But when James played it, and the first time encountered Liquor, there was this funny moment. I think he played it on PC, I believe. The Resident Evil 2 remake. He does that like funny side step, like like that shit looks hilarious. But at the same time, when he like very slowly walks, so the Liquor doesn't hear him, he goes into a corner where he needs to get out, where there's the key or something. The Liquor just is very close to the wall and right next to him, and he doesn't even scream. He's like, he has that face. Like, I love how he zooms his camera. He's like, he has that face of either oh shit moment or I completely fucked up. Like, oh my god, that shit is hilarious. I will show you a clip of it now.
Buddy! I am moving so silently. You have no idea where I am.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
I do I hope you don't get mad over Hexanova. I love your videos, dude. You're absolutely hilarious at times. But yeah, that shit is crazy, because when you play horror games, you get PewDiePie. The reason PewDiePie was really popular back then was when he played horror games. He had these really over dramatic, very funny reactions, but sometimes at times they were felt really real, because you know he's the kind of person that doesn't handle horror games really well. When I got older, I got used to horror games, but there were some moments, especially I encountered this like xenomorph, the xenomorph kind of piece of shit in the game. Like, I understand some people in the Resident Evil Facebook group told me I need to freeze them with these like canisters or something like that, knock them over and freeze the motherfucker and shoot them with a rocket launcher. But I did not use the rocket launcher because I'm an idiot, and despite the fact I was really tempted to do that, I might try to kill him with a magnum, but you know, this motherfucker really scared the shit out of me. Like, this guy hits like a truck. He's really fast on his feet, and he's basically kind of immortal if you don't freeze him with these freeze canisters. If you don't freeze him, then you're basically fucked. I know you can kill him, but at the same time, I didn't want to waste my rockets, because, you know, with more logical solution, you better use something that doesn't, you know, use powerful weapons against huge boss encounters or whatever. But seriously, I am getting way too excited talking about Resident Evil. But still, it really kind of pisses me off that Resident Evil 4, this game gets a remake. Now, of course, this game has, you know, sometimes it has issues, but especially the stupid quick time events, but and you know, Ashley as a character, but at the same time, I don't hate this game. I still love this game no matter how old it is, and I still enjoyed playing it on my PS2 at night. It's scary, it is very atmospheric. Sometimes the guns are really fun to use, and I can go on, but this game is a goddamn masterpiece, and I don't know what else to say. Like, I haven't gotten far into Resident Evil 4. I really want to beat this game, but at the same time, the reason why Resident Evil 4 is revolutionary as well is because it also inspired a bunch of developers called Visceral Games and created one of my favorite games, and I will show you right quickly. One of my other favorite survival horror games, Dead Space. And I actually have both Dead Space on PC, on my laptop, and on PS3, because the reason because I usually, some people might get triggered by this, but I actually prefer playing on consoles than I on PC, because on PC it kind of feels very uncomfortable, and I rather use PC for work purposes like YouTube and stuff, and when I want to do gaming, I just rather, pick a controller, sit on my bed or couch, and and played the game without, you know, without problems or something like that. Of course, some PC games are cool, like Doom 3, Half-Life 2, whatever. But at the same time, too many PC games have fuck. Sorry, but with PC gaming, there's too many games that have used way too many graphics, or you know, realistic graphics, and too much memory, like gigabytes. You know what I mean? And that is why I usually prefer console gaming, because with consoles, games don't take away that much memory unless you're playing on PS4 or PS5 or PS4 or Xbox One. But you know what I mean. But yeah, I feel like Resident Evil, for me, that is my own personal opinion, but I feel like Resident Evil 4 Remake is really pointless because, like I said, Resident Evil 4 has been ported to basically every system in the planet already. If you don't have, and I'm pretty sure Resident Evil 4's price has dropped down since long ago, so I feel like you could easily buy the original game and play it. And yeah, but of course some people will be stupid and buy the remake because more nostalgia, or I'm a Resident Evil fan or something like that. But oh my god, but I don't know, but I'm not really looking forward for that remake. Because I feel like it is really pointless. But tell me what you guys think about the Resident Evil 4 remake yourselves. Do you think it is worth it or not? And yeah, whatever. This is 117 or 117 signing off.